Imagine a digital creator.
Okay.
Now, I want you to imagine they have zero studio lighting, no viral dance trends, no controversial hot takes, and exactly 1,600 followers.
1,600, that's it.
That's it. You'd probably assume they're, completely invisible to the global creator economy.
I mean, yeah. Usually when we look at digital influence, the expectation is just massive, overwhelming scale.
Right. We're trained to focus entirely on the top 0.1%.
Yeah, the slick setups in Los Angeles, the millions of subscribers, those algorithms that seemingly just print money on demand.
Exactly. We look at the absolute peak of the mountain and we totally ignore the foundation.
Which is crazy because the reality of the internet right now is vastly different than what hits the trending page.
So today, we're doing the exact opposite. Welcome to today's deep dive, where we are going to look at the absolute base layer of online influence.
It's a really unique angle.
It is, because, it's June 6th, 2026. The digital creator space is more saturated than it has literally ever been in human history.
Oh, absolutely.
Yet today, we aren't looking at a massive celebrity. We're looking at a masterclass in the modern digital economy, viewed through the lens of a single, seemingly totally ordinary person.
Yeah, we have our hands on a really fascinating source document today. It's an influencer employability assessment.
Right. Yeah.
And this is a highly analytical, incredibly detailed, behind-the-scenes breakdown of one specific digital creator.
A man named Anil Kumar Puranam.
Exactly.
So whether you're a marketer trying to figure out where your brand's ad budget is actually going, or maybe an aspiring creator trying to build a sustainable living way.
Or just someone fascinated by how online influence genuinely operates when nobody's really looking.
Right. This deep dive is going to reveal exactly how value is calculated in the digital age. We are stripping away all the glamour to examine the raw underlying mechanics of influence.
And that's in bolts.
Okay, let's unpack this. Who is Anil Kumar Puranam, and, what does the data actually tell us about his digital footprint?
Well, if we look at the raw data inventory provided in the assessment, his profile is, honestly, refreshingly grounded.
How so?
So, Anil currently sits at 1,600 followers on his Facebook profile. He follows 363 people.
Okay, super normal numbers.
Yeah, and by day, he works as a government school employee. Specifically, a teacher at ZPHS Chandragonda.
A local teacher, that's awesome.
Right. He graduated from Priyadarshini Engineering College back in 2000, and his geographic footprint is firmly rooted in the Hyderabad, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh belt in India.
1,600 followers might sound tiny to a lot of people in a landscape where, teenagers get 1 million views for lip syncing.
For sure, it sounds microscopic.
But let's look at the context here. I like to think of it like the difference between a massive, impersonal billboard in Times Square and the community bulletin board at your local neighborhood coffee shop.
That's a good way to put it.
Right, because the billboard gets way more eyeballs, obviously, but the bulletin board is where people actually stop, read, and trust the information.
Because they know the person who pinned it there.
Exactly. Imagine 1,600 real people standing in a room listening to a local teacher.
Yeah.
That's not a tiny room. That is a packed auditorium.
It really is. And the industry classifies this specific tier as a nano-influencer in the pre-monetization stage.
Pre-monetization. Okay.
Yeah. And what really stands out in the assessment is the visual signaling of his profile. His cover photo is an image of a tulip garden with children.
Very wholesome.
Super wholesome. His profile picture is a family photo taken at a hill station.
Okay, so totally different vibe from the influencer standard.
Right. Immediately before reading a single post, this signals a warm, community-oriented, personal brand. It's deeply relational and completely devoid of any slick corporate aesthetic.
But wait, if he only has 1,600 followers, why did someone commission a whole deep dive analytical employability assessment on him?
That is the million-dollar question.
I mean, there are millions of profiles with family photos and 1,000 followers. The answer has to be buried somewhere in how those followers actually behave.
And it is. The defining metric here is the engagement anomaly.
The engagement anomaly. Okay, walk me through the numbers.
So the source material pulls a 3-post sample to illustrate this. The first post generated 36 total interactions.
Okay.
The second post jumped to 89 interactions, and the third post leveled out at 59.
Got it. So if we average that out, you're looking at 61.3 engagements per post.
Right. And if you do the math.
Yeah, dividing that average engagement of 61.3 by his total follower count of 1,600 and multiplying by 100, That gives us his engagement rate.
Which is?
He is sitting at roughly 3.8%.
Now, what's fascinating here is how completely that 3.8% shatters the current algorithmic baseline.
Wait, really? It shatters it.
Oh, completely. We have to understand the mechanics of the 2026 digital landscape. Platforms have aggressively throttled organic reach, right?
To force creators and brands to pay for advertising.
Exactly. And because of this ad inventory saturation, the industry benchmark for Facebook engagement right now is incredibly low.
How low are we talking?
A standard page averages between 0.5% and 1.5%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Multinational brands spend millions of dollars in creative strategy just trying to stabilize at a 1.5% engagement rate.
And here is a government school teacher sitting effortlessly at almost 4%.
Without spending a dime.
How does the algorithm even allow a 4% engagement rate to happen naturally without paid promotion? Like, how is that possible?
It happens when the network density is incredibly tight. A 3.8% rate proves the audience is not bot inflated or, purchased from a click farm in another country.
They're real people.
Real people. Furthermore, the assessment analyzes the comment section and notes the interactions are primarily in Telugu.
Okay, so it's very localized.
Extremely. This indicates a highly authentic regional network. He's speaking directly to an active community composed of his former engineering alumni, locals from the Chandragonda and Khammam districts, and members of his immediate school community.
So the algorithm actually recognizes this high density of real-world relationships.
Exactly. When people who actually know you stop to read your posts, the algorithm rewards that local retention. It basically bypasses the usual throttles.
But wait, I have a question then.
Yeah.
If he's hitting almost 4% engagement and beating industry benchmarks by an absolute mile, why does the source document assess his overall employability score at a painfully mediocre 5.5 out of 10?
Yeah, it's a harsh score.
That math feels totally broken. If you have an engaged audience that trusts you, you should be a highly employable creator.
Well, that tension right there is the core lesson of the modern influencer economy. Having a highly engaged audience is only the raw material.
Okay.
The actual challenge is packaging that raw material in a way that the market can purchase. We run into some severe structural flaws, holding Anil's profile back from commercial success. It fundamentally comes down to how his content is categorized, or rather, his lack of a clear category.
Yeah, the source refers to his content as a mixed bag.
It's all over the place.
Right. On any given day, a follower might see like a nature video layered with inspirational music.
Sure.
But then the next day, it's a Telugu language motivational text post. Then he suddenly shifts into astrology content, specifically Rashi Falalu graphics.
Right.
And then later in the week, it might be food imagery, some fitness updates, or even posts featuring regional political figures.
Yeah, the assessment specifically logs a visible image of the political figure Pawan Kalyan on his feed.
And just real quick, strictly for our listeners, we're remaining totally impartial here. We are just reporting what's in the audit without taking any stance on the political figure or the creator's views.
Of course. And from a strict data analysis perspective, because the algorithm does not care about regional politics or whether anyone agrees with them, this is just seen as another distinct content category that fractures his overall niche.
But doesn't posting about all your different interests, your family, your political observations, the stars, your fitness routine, doesn't that make you a more authentic presence online?
It makes you human, sure.
Right. Isn't the whole promise of social media supposed to be a reflection of a multidimensional human being?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture of the influencer economy, we have to clearly separate social media as a personal diary from social media as a business entity.
Okay, that's a key distinction.
Being a whole, multifaceted human is great for personal relationships. Brands, however, do not buy access to a general personal diary.
What do they buy?
They buy predictable, targetable audiences.
It's like a television channel. If you tune into a channel for a nature documentary, and then 5 minutes later it switches to a local political debate, and then 5 minutes later it becomes a cooking show.
And then astrology readings.
Right. You change the channel. You just don't know what to expect.
The scattered niche is the single biggest commercial limitation for nano-influencers today.
Wow.
If a brand sells running shoes, they need to guarantee that the audience cares deeply about running. You post about fitness one day, but the next 5 days are dedicated to astrology and family vacations, that running shoe brand considers you a wasted investment.
Because they can't guarantee their target audience is actually watching that day.
Precisely. The assessment is harsh but accurate. Anil has no single dominant niche. The market literally does not know how to price him because they cannot clearly define who they are buying access to.
The audience might be engaged, but the sponsor doesn't know why they're engaged, so they won't pay to put their logo on the content.
Right. And reading further into the assessment, there's an even larger technical barrier preventing monetization.
Yeah, the structural flaw.
It is significant. Anil is operating entirely from a personal profile on Facebook rather than a dedicated Facebook page.
Honestly, that sounds like a semantic difference. A profile versus a page.
Yeah.
Why does the platform differentiate the two so severely when it comes to employability?
Because it completely locks him out of the entire commercial infrastructure of Meta.
Really? Just from using the wrong account type?
Yes. A personal profile is fundamentally designed for peer-to-peer connection, not business-to-consumer broadcasting.
Okay.
Because of this, a personal profile cannot enroll in the Meta Brand Collabs Manager.
Which is what exactly?
It's essentially Meta's internal matchmaking service where brands safely find, verify, and pay creators.
Oh, wow. So without a page, he has no access to advanced audience demographic insights or the back-end analytics dashboard either.
None of it. A brand literally cannot run paid promotional amplification through a personal profile. The API does not allow it.
That is a massive roadblock.
It gets worse. Personal profiles have hard caps on friend limits, and the algorithm is actively trained to suppress commercial links or sponsored content posted from personal profiles to prevent spam.
Oh, so he's trying to run a commercial storefront, but he's doing it out of his living room, and the platform has basically locked the door to the delivery trucks.
That's a perfect analogy.
So considering he's structurally limited by platform rules and his niche is totally scattered across a dozen topics, what is his actual worth to a brand right now in 2026?
Well, the source provides the current market value for the Tier 2 Telugu market. For a single sponsored image or text post on his current setup, he could charge between 500 and 1,500 rupees.
Okay, pretty modest, yeah.
If he integrates a brand into a reel or a video, the rate increases slightly to maybe 1,000 to 3,000 rupees.
And for a longer commitment.
A long-term monthly ambassadorship might generate 3,000 to 8,000 rupees a month.
I mean, the buyers for those rates are not going to be multinational conglomerates sitting in glass towers in Mumbai.
No, not at all. The target buyers at that level are hyper-local.
We're looking at businesses operating specifically in the Chandragonda and Khammam areas.
Right. A local coaching institute offering engineering prep courses, or maybe a regional Ayurvedic brand.
Or local devotional apps seeking to tap into his specific demographic of Telugu-speaking, educated, middle-class locals.
Exactly. Because hyperlocal businesses actually prefer this kind of nano-influencer over traditional regional television or radio ads.
Because of the trust factor?
The trust factor is huge. A Chandragonda Coaching Institute does not want to pay a premium for television views in Hyderabad. They want surgical precision.
They want the exact 1,600 people who trust this local school teacher.
That is his current state. A highly engaged, structurally limited profile making a very modest amount of hyperlocal revenue.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Hidden deep inside this mixed bag of content, somewhere between the family hill station photos and the daily astrology, updates the assessment, uncovers an absolute goldmine.
It is easily the most compelling finding in the entire document.
There is a dormant narrative sitting on his profile that could change his entire commercial trajectory.
Amidst the daily life updates, Anil has been quietly keeping a documented cycling log.
And it's not just a casual weekend hobby either. He has set a public target of cycling 4,300 kilometers.
4,300.
A government school teacher setting out to cycle 4,300 kilometers across India, documenting the entire journey in his native Telugu. I mean, that is a hero's journey.
It really is. And this raises an important question. How does the market value a hero's journey compared to a mixed bag of daily updates?
Night and day, right?
Absolutely. From a strategic standpoint, a 4,300-kilometer cycling goal provides the exact kind of focused, discipline-oriented narrative that attracts substantial commercial investment.
Because regional news channels actively look for stories of local perseverance.
Yes. And cycling and outdoor gear brands require authentic, localized ambassadors to prove their equipment works in real-world Indian conditions.
Not to mention state tourism boards, right, like AP or Telangana Tourism. They could sponsor specific segments of his ride to highlight regional landmarks.
This single niche operation, Aranya, as he calls it, is a massive second-order opportunity.
It's a highly differentiated, media-worthy story that just completely stands out in a sea of generic lifestyle content.
Exactly.
So how does Anil, or how could you, listening right now, take an engaged but scattered audience and just flip the switch to become a fully monetized creator?
Well, the source material actually provides a turnaround blueprint.
Okay, let's hear it.
It moves past diagnosis and lays out 3 concrete, actionable steps to transition this from an assessment into a functional business plan.
All right, let's walk through the playbook for modern digital value. Step 1 addresses the technical barrier, right?
Yes. He needs to create a dedicated Facebook page, potentially naming it Anil Kumar Puranam Digital Creator.
So simple, but it changes everything.
He can still maintain his personal profile for family and friends, but the page becomes the official business entity.
And this single action unlocks Meta's commercial tools, provides demographic analytics, and grants access to the Brand Collabs manager.
Exactly. It builds the necessary infrastructure to accept brand money safely and legally.
Okay, what's step 2?
Step 2 requires a really difficult psychological shift for most creators. You have to lock the niche.
You have to force a choice.
You do. The assessment advises Anil to choose between the nature and cycling content Operation Aranya or the astrology and spirituality content.
He must pick one lane and completely drop the rest.
Yes. If he chooses Operation Aranya, the entire page becomes dedicated to a single mission with a consistent, forward-moving story arc.
Every post serves the goal of reaching 4,300 kilometers.
Right. And when a brand visits the page, they instantly understand the narrative, the demographic, and the value proposition.
The audience becomes predictable.
Predictability is exactly what brands buy.
Okay, so step 3 tackles distribution.
It does. The blueprint insists he needs to mirror all of this content to Instagram Reels.
Now wait, why prioritize Instagram Reels if his current, highly engaged audience is firmly established on Facebook?
Because you must follow the migration of brand capital.
Ah.
In the 2026 Telugu Nano influencer market, brand budgets are overwhelmingly flowing toward short-form vertical video.
Makes sense.
By documenting his journey through daily short videos in Telugu and posting them as reels on both Facebook and Instagram simultaneously, he leverages Meta's current algorithmic push for vertical video.
While establishing a presence on the platform where the actual monetization budgets reside.
Precisely.
Wow. If he executes these 3 steps, building the structural page, locking the cycling niche, and optimizing for vertical video, the projected payoff over the next 12 months completely alters his trajectory.
The mathematical projection is striking. By focusing solely on the cycling journey, the assessment estimates he could scale from his current 1,600 followers to somewhere between 10,000 and 25,000 followers within 6 to 12 months.
That's huge. And once the audience size catches up to that incredibly dense 3.8% engagement rate, the rate card multiplies.
Oh, exponentially. The projection indicates he could increase his asking price by 5 to 8 times.
Wow.
He transitions from earning 1,000 rupees a post to commanding 5,000 to 20,000 rupees per post.
It's like taking a messy neighborhood garage sale and turning it into a highly specialized high-end boutique.
I mean, that just kind of shows the main rule of the modern creator economy. Influence is not merely about being liked or generating high engagement.
Right.
Influence is about being clearly understood by the marketplace. You must package your authenticity into a structure that brands can easily categorize and purchase.
So what does this all mean for your own digital footprint? Whether you are running a small local business, building a personal brand, or just trying to understand why certain creators succeed while others, stall out, the lesson from Anil's profile is vital.
It really is the blueprint.
Authenticity and high engagement are the foundational raw materials. But without structural packaging, a dedicated business page, and relentless narrative, focus a single, clear niche that influence remains dormant. It is difficult to monetize.
You have to decide what specific story you want to be known for.
Exactly.
But, I want to leave you with a concept raised in the self-check section of the source document.
Oh, this part blew my mind.
Right. Everything we just analyzed, the engagement rates, the structural flaws, the employability score, it's all calculated strictly on what is publicly visible.
Right. We are pricing his influence based entirely on his public-facing Facebook feed.
We are measuring the data we have access to. But consider the possibility of unseen influence.
Unseen influence.
What if Anil oversees a highly engaged WhatsApp community? What if, as a respected school teacher, he's the admin of dozens of private regional alumni groups?
Or operates an unlisted YouTube channel shared only through word of mouth.
Exactly. A completely shadow network of influence. In digital analytics, we refer to this as dark social. It encompasses the links shared in private group chats, direct messages, email forwarding chains, and offline community networks.
The stuff you literally can't track.
Standard audits and platform algorithms cannot measure it. It forces us to ask how much of the world's actual behavior-driving influence is happening completely in the dark.
Completely invisible to the brands trying to assign a monetary value to it.
Precisely.
We obsess over the metrics we can easily track on a dashboard. But the real power to change minds might reside in a private group chat that researchers will just never get access to.
It really makes you rethink the whole system.
It does. The next time you encounter a seemingly ordinary profile with 1,600 followers, look past the mixed bag of content. Look for the localized engagement. Look for their own version of an Operation Aranya. Because in today's digital economy, the most potent influence rarely looks like a celebrity in a slick studio. It looks like a real person, deeply embedded in a community, talking to people who actually care.